I'm not thirsty.
Anyway,
Right.
welcome to the second episode of our jazz series entitled Jazz, Juice, and Jam. How you feeling, bro?
I feel good, man. How are you?
Man, let me tell you. I'm good. Running off a little bit of sleep.
Yeah, that's it.
Since the last episode, I had a little baby, you know, little baby.
baby.
Happy. Cheers. But I'm telling you, it's special. And I can't, I don't take it for granted. And I'm just feel really blessed and fortunate that she's here.
Yeah.
You know, she's quiet right now. You can't hear her.
Yeah, put that Sesame Street on.
She don't like Sesame Street. She educated, bro.
Okay, I was educated by Sesame Street.
She said she watched Terra Nova. Wait a minute. Was that the show, Terra Nova? How did juice taste, bro?
It tastes good, man. It's fruity. I don't know what else I'm just saying.
Have you been out much?
Man, I mean, outside in the backyard.
Okay.
That's it. No.
Yeah.
I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, it's probably for the best just with everything happening right now. We got
going crazy. I'm just like, you know what?
I hate going to the store. Until I be in there and everybody just and every now and then you get that one person in the house that off and let me go all the way to the other side.
Bro, I remember I went to Snooks and I felt some type of presence on me. And I looked up. It was all sick people coughing and sneezing. I was like, I had my mask and everything. Oh, this is... You start singing hymns. Walk with me, Lord. Hey. If it's going to be my day, let it be the best. Come on. That's going to be a new one.
A new hymn.
Yeah.
Bacteria.
Alright, you see.
Oh man,
smile at the camera. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, ain't gonna say drink some juice.
Drink some.
Jesus. Speaking of juice, this next segment we're gonna do is a game for you all in the comment section, watching wherever you're at, where you guess the song and guess this mysterious liquid juice right here. This is a game we call Guess That Juice. What it was. I tried to throw a little curveball. I felt the last time we did was a little easy. So you may guess the juice, but let's see if you know the tune. Again, the first person who comments and gets both the song and the juice right, they'll be featured in the musician mashup at the end. All right, so we're going to go into a wonderful segment right now. This is one of my favorite. This one is called Who Would You Rather? The Jazz Edition. So today, I figured it would be great if we featured probably some of the greatest piano players of our era, or any era. So we have Herbie Hancock, McCoy Tyner, and Chick Corea. Okay, and so the way that the game goes is who would you rather share on the bandstand with you? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I have my opinion, but I'm gonna let you go.
Man, come on, man.
So you got Herbie,
McCoy,
Chick Corea. All very strong,
very
unique voices. All have their own like pros
and cons.
And let us know in the comment section below who you guys go with.
See, I was expecting this, man. That's a hard.
That's
a hard choice. I tell you this. I would choose McCoy.
McCoy?
I would choose McCoy.
Okay.
The reason why. The only reason why.
Okay.
I feel like he can take you there. To places that you don't want to go. I feel like he would go, no, we going somewhere. Like, you can have a pretty bad day.
That's fair.
And then you
fair.
know, you end up like, oh man, okay, I gotta play, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I give
you. Yeah.
Well,
okay. That's a hard choice.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, because initially I definitely thought I was going with McCoy. Yeah. Because the same thing, he's like definitely a powerhouse. Like
that's a powerhouse.
He brings so much, and it's like there isn't another sound like that, and it's like very hard to imitate it. Yeah. Like even people that try to do like the stuff in the bottom register, it's not the same. But I was thinking about in terms of maybe somebody on the bandstand with me. Like if I gotta say Herbie, and I'll tell you why. I know. I
mean, bro, it's
let me tell you.
Go ahead.
It's because Herbie, and I was just listening to him because I was definitely trying to think about this. Herbie's, I feel like his strokes of his colors, like he has so many different colors, so many different bags he can come from. Yeah. So many just like different things that he could come at you with that will always keep, I feel like, the music moving forward. Like I love, like I go by this saying, like it says like still water stink. Yeah. And so like I hate for the music to get like stale and just like even if we like playing intense, it's just stale and ain't doing nothing. So
that's a hard choice.
Yeah, it is, because you go back and forth. Because the thing about Chick, let me tell you, is that Chick is almost like he has that other stuff that he taps into, but I feel like in terms of like playing with people, Chick is like probably the most involved. Sometimes to the point of he gets in the way. Yeah. Like you hear him so confident with other people. It's like, but it's still great. It's great to that, like he's listening, he's trying to contribute, and some people love that. And like I think like
it's just that's a really hard choice.
Yeah.
The only reason why I would go with McCoy, because I feel like he can actually take you. Like if you're playing, you're going in on your solo. I honestly feel like there's like a whole new world.
Yeah, and you got backup. It ain't gonna never be like I don't have no help.
Yeah.
He got. I mean, man. I mean,
that's a hard choice, man. Because Chick Corea, bro, he'll go with you.
And Herbie will too. If you hear him on some stuff, man, there's like that. What's that record? Dang, I don't know. I can't think about it now. But it's with Michael Brecker and Roy Hargrove. I think it's like a live record. And
I know what you're talking about.
Herbie's like playing some amazing stuff on that. Yeah, Herbie,
I mean, he revolutionized. I would say he revolutionized the sound of synth and keyboards. Yeah, to me, that's a whole.
It's a whole nother bag.
It's a whole different world, man. So that's a hard.
It's tough. I mean, and like you can't knock Chick's electric.
No,
I'm not either. It's like Return to Forever, and I mean,
hey, bro, there's some hard stuff, man. That's a hard choice. Like that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section below. I know you guys have your own opinions and probably why you think one works better than the other one. At the end of the day, any one of those three would be just like great on the bandstand.
Unless Miles Davis.
In which case, we probably gonna stop somebody, lean over and play the piano himself. Man, he went down there and whispered to my boys like, and then turned back like, "Hey man,
hey look, if you're a young musician that never happens to you, then you're not doing something.
You ain't doing something. Look, it happens to all of us, man. I remember the first time I'm playing, somebody came up to me like, "Hey, stop! You playing too long. Bruh, sit down,
bruh." They hit me with the, "Hey, you playing the wrong bass notes."
Look, man, let me tell you, Spruce. Anybody out there that remembers Spruce, that's the place, man, you know, where you like, they tell you, all right, you did good, go sit down, learn some more tunes. But, you know, let us know. It's up to you guys, you know, to share your opinions. And please, if you haven't subscribe now. There's plenty of content on there. A lot of new stuff coming your way. So we hope you all enjoyed that last segment. Now it's time for the albums you guys should check out.
Bruh, I listened to that note last night. I was like,
it's a good record.
It's really good.
It's a good record.
It's not bad. I can't wait to play.
I know it's been long overdue.
My blood is starting to boil with this.
Bro, it's hard. It's hard. I was watching Mo Better Blues last night, and I was watching Mo Better Blues last night. It was hard. Like I was watching, I was like, dang, I miss hitting with the cats. I mean, just in general, just that going in.
No, I think it's like, man, it's looking at everything, man. It's like everybody has their role in life. Everybody has a job to do in life, and it's like, when you're looking at things, man, you're like, from a musician standpoint, what is my role in life? And then you're like, man, it's like bring people joy.
Yeah, and we're not doing that. And it's like it feels weird. I can't even lie to you, bro. It definitely feels weird. So today, the albums that we're talking about that we feel you all should check out, I think since you went first last time.
I went first a lot of times. And this is my second time, and this is your second show, and you have never gone first. You should go first.
I was just about to look.
No, because over here dressed like a buddy
this
boy.
This is the logo for the show.
The Suge Knight of St. Louis metropolitan area.
Take off the cap, bro.
Huh? You know what? You see, this is what happens when you're under quarantine. You don't feel like
it's rough. It's rough right now.
Hey, I'm getting my lining coming in though. It's coming.
It's coming.
Gonna put curly curls in my hair in a minute.
Man, wait, hold on, we get to that. Okay, so look, the album that I think is important to check out actually is one that's close to home for us. We live close to St. Louis, we're playing St. Louis all the time. It's one by a great piano player. His name is P. Todd Williams.
Yeah, that dude.
This is an album that came out in 2016. I think that's right. It's called Clear for Takeoff. This record, man, let me tell you something. It's dope. I heard it on the radio and I didn't know who, but I was like, man, who was that playing on the piano like that? I mean, there was like one tune, I think it was the title track, Clear for Takeoff, and P-Todd is just blazing. I mean, he's one of just like a treasure, a gem in St. Louis, that just like can hang with any, like he could really be in a conversation with those three musicians that we named, you know. And I'm not just pubbing him up. He's like
no, like
tremendous piano player. I got the chance to actually talk to him about that record, Clear for Takeoff, and he was talking about the title track and like how he constructed the melody and just how it went through all these different phases, and he didn't think this part was right, and then he wrote it again and wrote it again. And I think like it's important for musicians to hear. It was important for me to hear that because so many times we want to like write the tune and it'd be perfect first time you sit down or play it, and it's like
5 heartbeats, bro.
Yeah. We took a piece of paper.
You're like, man, it don't work.
But that's important, you know. It's like tunes take times, and if you hear that tune, it's available. Like I think on all the streaming platforms, definitely YouTube and Spotify. So please check it out. It's called "Clear for Takeoff," and you hear that tune in particular, and it's like definitely has some interesting moving parts. The other dope thing about this record is like all the musicians feature some of like probably guys at the top of their level in St. Louis. Marty Morrison is on drums. Bob DeBoo is on bass. Eric Slaughter on that track "Clear for Takeoff," just blazing through. He's on guitar, and then of course Pita. Another one, man. Another great track on there was Ahmad Jamal's "I Love Music," which is he does his solo piano, and I think to me that shows like the greatness of just how he plays, because anybody can have runs and they have technique and everything like that, and he has it, but it's like you hear him play with just like a subtleness and like a beautiness when he plays that, and it's like almost to a whisper sometimes, you know, when he's playing. It's a dope. That was a tune I really liked, and then of course it's a lot of original music, but one of the other ones that stood out for me was Bobby Hutcherson's "Little Bee's Poem," which I think gets a lot of radio play. Their version of that is really dope. The chords that Eric is playing with is pretty dope. So yeah, you guys definitely check that record out.
That's a grown folk record.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a lot of different type of music. I mean, it's definitely like follows the jazz guideline, I guess, but you'll be pleasantly surprised with that. What you got, man?
Well, you know, it's not that, you know, on that deep, you know. No, but it's Soul Station by Hank Mobley.
Okay, Soul Station.
I chose this album. Two reasons. Number one, it just feels good. Like, if you're really looking for what is swing in a small group setting, that's the album to go to. Just
it's that swing.
For me, it's the swing. I'm gonna say swing because I'm trying to be proper.
See, swinging ain't swinging.
No, bro, it's a swing.
Okay,
Nah, man, because these guys, man, like, I think the most important thing. Woo, boy, I'm so done with this quarantine. I'm so dope.
Y'all guys, as
soon as Jesus take my spirit, man, bro. Oh,
that boy said "Stole Station." Oh shoot!
Well, let me tell you something. This Hank Mo is this album. Like, when you listen to it, you're digesting it,
right?
And then you're remembering the time period that it came out. You had two other great saxophone players. You had John Coltrane, and then you had Sonny Rollins. So you had those two guys came out, and then you had Hank who came out with his album. And to me, this was the most soulful. You can hear the Baptist, Pentecostal. You can feel the Saturday night at the jazz club groove. It's right here in your heart. All right. Then you look at the personnel on there. Hold on. You have Art Blakey. All right. Winnie Kelly. Paul Chambers. Hank himself. Bro, it don't get no better than that.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, that's swinging, right?
It don't get. And for all those guys to come together and for them to do what they did on just this record. They've been on many other records.
Of course.
This record in particular. Man, it's
just a great.
It's just almost every song on there can be a sample.
Soul Station.
Soul Station. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Have to check it out.
Yeah. Hey, look, let me tell you something, man. I think that's the best thing about this segment. It's because, like, literally for a week, I was like, man, what album am I going to talk about? Yeah. And it's like, man, there are a lot of records.
Yeah, it's a lot, and all of them you like for different reasons.
Right,
There's different reasons to pull out. I thought Pita's record was so great just because I heard it recently on the radio, and I was like, oh man, okay, well. Yeah. I hadn't checked that record out in a long time since he gave it to me, but man, Soul Station.
Yeah, Soul Station's a really, really good one.
I don't know about most soulful.
I mean, bro, it's soulful, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I would say this, bro. That Pita record Like
It's got some things to it, man.
I would go so far to say I've never heard a piano player like Pete Top.
Now he's his own. It's his own.
It's his own thing, and man, that's a good choice. It's a good choice. I'll get you hooked up, Hank Mobile, bro. It's okay.
We go to bass player.
I like too many notes.
So I hope you all like that segment. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We kind of a little back and forth, but now it's time to let's really go back and forth. It's time for the controversies. Hope you all ready for them. Today's controversial topic.
This should be good. I'm ready.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. So it's one that I think I'm on both sides of, but it is one that I hear a lot around the bandstand. Is it important to know the full history of jazz in order to play it effectively? Okay? So there are many people that feel like if you don't know where you've been, then you don't have any idea of where you're going to go. Right? We know a lot of people like that. I think there is validity in it, but I think sometimes it's where you can be stuck in tradition and not going forward.
I would say that's a whole different topic. It's one thing to know the history of jazz and then be able to recall that history, be able to play, and then push the music forward. It's a whole nother thing to just be a traditionalist in jazz.
Well, see, that's where.
Well,
see, that's what I'm saying. Is it important to know the whole history in order to play the music effectively? What do you think?
I would say yes. And jazz does not stop at 1920 and 1930. It just doesn't stop. Like, jazz goes all the way up to present. Like, it's still changing. So, my biggest issue with that question is a lot of folks get stuck in a time period. They usually get stuck 1920s, 1930s.
I was thinking definitely miles 50s.
Miles 50. Yeah, you can sort of go in that
but it's both.
Too, but I would say right now in present day, it's the strangest thing in the world. It's like you got people playing 1910, 1920, 1930s music.
Yeah. And
then you look at them and you go, all right, let's play Cantaloupe Island. Huh?
Wait, what? Right, which is only like
come on, come on, let's move.
And it's a little even bit more simplistic in a way.
Yeah, so it's that's a really tricky question. And it's good for you to know that early music stuff. Because I think you should know all periods of music. Just like classical, you should know all the periods of music. But if you're talking about jazz and knowing the history of it, it just doesn't stop at 1920s, 30s, the 40s, and definitely the 50s. You gotta continue the cycle.
Okay.
I would say if you're gonna do the history, know the full history so that you can continue to make history. But that's a quote.
I think that's fair, and like so many ways, like I agree with that in so many ways. But I definitely think. I don't know. I don't know if you need to know the full history in order to play the music. Like it's difficult because I feel like
to play the music, I would say no, you don't need to. But
effectively is what I say.
Effectively, no, you don't. But at some point, you do have to learn the music. If you're gonna learn the music, you're gonna learn the history because it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So when you start checking out cats like Duke Ellington, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I've just been playing. Let me check out Duke Ellington. You're actually looking at Duke Ellington. Now you learn the history of jazz, and that's a big history of jazz. So at any given time, at some point, as an effective musician, and especially if you're going to be talking to the younger generation, you're gonna get to a point where you're just gonna learn the history of jazz. It's just gonna happen.
If you want to continue to go.
Yeah,
I do think there's something
to
be said for that. There's something to be said for that. Like if you stuck in post-train era, and it's like you'll be able to play that music really well. But I mean, if it goes to things like I don't know, you hear somebody play something like just something like strutting with some barbecue or something, like something that's further in the past.
Yeah,
that type of playing doesn't work.
No.
But at the same time, I don't know. There are people that it's like think is it important to go back to the past?
I think it is, because people will ask, like, especially just from a jazz player standpoint. I mean, you look at classical music too. Classical musicians, you have to recall that history sometimes, because there'll be gigs where you have to recall the Bach era,
right?
Not the Bach era.
I know what you're saying. The classical period.
The classical period.
The Baroque.
Baroque period. That's what. Yeah, you have to, romantic period. You have to start knowing all these histories. So it's like, for us, we should be doing the same thing. Because at some point, you're going to be on a gig where they go, hey, I need 1890s to 1910 type of feel of music, that type of stuff. Or some people go, I need the roaring 20s type music. Because they might have that Great Gatsby party.
Okay.
So you have to recall
but
it.
Let me ask you a question.
Style of music.
Did Wayne Shorter or Coltrane, I'm sure they did when they got started, but like when you hear Train playing, he doesn't necessarily, he's not trying to play like Coleman Hawkins.
No, that's a different thing.
Bro.
But to me, it's like at some point in his career, he was trying to sound like those guys. Well,
that's just part of where you're growing up. But I'm saying was it important? Was it important for Miles to keep going back to the past of Louis Armstrong in order for him to play the great music he did? I don't think so.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. Is people, when you it's just like when you learn history. Some people will learn history, then they get stuck in one part of the history.
All right.
So
I agree.
It's just like when people are studying the music, they might get stuck in this part of music because it's like, oh, this is something new. I have never heard this before.
Right.
But to us, it's like, that's fifth grade.
Yeah, I mean it's tough though, because there are some people that I meet and then it's like that they're very strict on you gotta know the tradition of the music, and I don't really think
you can reflect on that tradition, but you don't stick to that tradition. It's like there are literally cats that just play 1910, 1920 music,
and that's it.
It's like, okay, you're a good player in that sense. But can you come on to modern times, or even like Jay Dilla? You can just take that for instance, because it's like a whole cult around that now, where people are like. It's
true, especially in amongst musicians.
Amongst musicians, it's like, okay, Jay Dilla's cool. Let's move on to something else.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you take reflections. It's like you reflect on the history, and then you go, okay, how can I make that my own sound? And then you move on. You have to move on. I remember in college, I was really into Kenny Garrett, and to the point to where it was I don't know, it was Bird and Kenny Garrett, and then I didn't even want to hear anything from Cannonball. But then I heard Kenny's record. Well, it's not Kenny's record. It's actually Roy Haynes' record, "Birds of a Feather," with Roy Hargrove, Roy Haynes, Christian McBride, and David Kukowski, and they're playing those Bird tunes, and you can hear on certain things. You hear Kenny channeling Cannonball, some Cannonball things, but then at the same time, Kenny still sounds like him. Yeah.
He's not trying to play that older style, on purpose. And I think it's important. I think personally, it's important to know everything. Yeah. Periods, genres, everything. Don't turn anything down, because that was a big mistake I felt that I made in college, that the departments was kind of separated between the classical and the jazz. This is the stupidest thing ever, but it's the dumbest thing ever, bro. But I'm just telling the truth. But then you realize that the greatest musicians,
both, like, and legit can actually play the classical music to the point where they will take classical musician gigs and then go to a jazz gig later on that night.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you know the history of the music, you know history, but you don't know history, you know. That's but if you learn the history of the music, it's okay to know the big parts of the music and some of the details, but you're not gonna know every detail.
And that doesn't make you,
because you're now at that point you're not a musician. Now you're a historian,
which is something.
Yeah, that's its own different thing.
I agree. I agree with that. I think we're saying the same.
We
thing.
are saying the same thing.
It's just
I'm more technical.
And I'm like definitely saying like,
you say I don't need to know. I listen to what I want to listen to. I'm like, bro, you gotta listen to everything.
No, because I do think you need to listen to everything, and I turn nothing down. Like one of the I think best things that helped me to grow as a musician was checking out classical music. I always say that. I just there's so much music out there. How can you know it all? And just because somebody knows something a little bit more, like that doesn't mean
that's why it's hard to play.
Giant steps.
Oh, no, giant steps. Look at me. Play me a B flat blues.
Ooh, that got us sweating up here. So, that being said, we are moving on to our next segment.
You're so much in trouble.
Yeah, I know. It's come back. Let us know in the comment section below what you guys' thoughts are and opinions. And there's no wrong answer. That's the beautiful thing about music. It's like, but there's some wrong answers. There's some wrong answers. So let's just go ahead. So we're moving on to our next segment. It's time for breaking news. Today in our breaking news stories, with everything going on, the coronavirus, COVID-19, a lot of musicians have been taking that opportunity to make lemonade out of lemons, so to speak. Of course, a lot of musicians right now are out of work, not really playing, but some musicians, most notably the one I'm talking about today, has been just taking this opportunity to put out an album. Nicholas Payton's new Quarantine with Nick, he released some stuff on IG from it. It's definitely an interesting record. One of the tracks that really like stood out to me is like the Charmin Shortage Blues. Like the titles alone are like hilarious. Social Distancing, it's the one you told me about.
Baby got bopped.
Yeah. See, I don't know. It's like it's an album of today, and I think that's also like important. You know, as we talked about in our controversial segment of like things moving forward. When Stravinsky wrote Rite of Spring, it was about the music of things that was going on then. So I think it's an interesting record. It's on all platforms right now, streaming platforms. So definitely give it a listen to. So with that being said, we've talked a lot of jazz, we drank a lot of juice.
Really did.
Now it's time to get to the jam portion. So we thank you all for checking out this episode with us. We had a good time. You had a good time?
I had a great time. Second time. Last time.
It's the last time?
Leave me alone.
So last time we recorded this, we had somebody who won our Guess the Song and Guess the Juice.
Yeah.
It was none other than Mr. Bernard B.J. Long. And so since he got it right, he's featured now in our musician mashup. So here, this is to you, Bernard.